So I suppose
Jack,
the best
you're
way to
fifth.
start is to read the summary.
Jack's fifth.
That sounds fun.
So, we're going to be discussing our most recent watch, which we just finished, of Captain America the First Avenger. Which, the summary that it gives and the details on Disney Plus
Yeah, get out of
is,
here, Jack.
after being deemed unfit for military service, Steve Rogers volunteers for a top-secret research project that turns him into Captain America, a superhero dedicated to defending America's ideals and leading the fight for freedom as the ultimate weapon against evil. When a terrifying force threatens everyone across the globe, the world's greatest soldier wages war on the evil Hydra organization, led by the villainous Red Skull.
Some flashing light sequences or patterns may affect photosensitive viewers. Losers.
Plebes.
Complete. I really enjoyed Captain America. I didn't watch it until maybe well into Age of Ultron era when I went back and watched Captain America, because I think my mom was on top of the MCU movies before I got into them. I think Avengers was the first MCU movie I watched. And I was like, wow. I was like, who are these guys?
Exactly. Same here. My old buddy Luke, back in Georgia, he and his dad, they were like, hey, we have this extra ticket because the daughter doesn't want to go. You want to come? And I was like, I don't know what it is, but sure. And we went and watched it in IMAX 3D.
Blows your mind.
Blows your mind. Especially when you're a tot. Oh my goodness.
Everything's
Imagination's already running wild, and now you're seeing it brought to life. You're just like, oh!
I think that Captain America is the quintessential. I'm a very big DC fan. I prefer DC to Marvel, like 9 times out of 10. And I've recently become a much bigger Superman fan. But Captain America is, like, hands down, easily this world's Superman. It's so clear why he's a hero. He could have been a hero without being Captain America. Like, it was all in him the entire time.
Yes.
And I think that is the most magical thing about this movie. Like, they portray that very well throughout this movie.
That's one of my favorite things, just a little sidebar of, like, the What If series.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when they showed that it wasn't him that got the serum, it was Peggy. Like, still, he joined the fight because they took one of those, like, Hydra stoppers, I think they called it. And Howard...
Wasn't like the mech suit?
Yeah. It was basically the Mark 1. But, it's a common trope in his character no matter what.
He got active. Yeah, it's been quite some time since I've watched this movie, and I'm glad it's called The First Avenger. In general, I wonder if there are any other, like, rough drafts for what the Captain America name, like, the name of this movie would have been. Because I know that Brave New World went through like 2 or 3 name changes before it was actually released. I can't remember any of them off the top of my head, but I know it was not Brave New World like a year ago.
Indeed.
I think at one point it was like the Serpent Society, and then it changed to something else, and then it became Brave New World, and I was like, okay. I was like, I just want a good movie. I don't care. I enjoyed watching Captain America, Steve Rogers, going from scrawny boy with a dream to theater kid to the hero of America. Like, the CGI in this movie, I think even out of its time, is really good. Like, it is seamless. I watch Corridor Digital is a YouTube channel, and they do a lot of effect stuff. They do independent effects things, but then they'll watch old movies and new movies, and they just, like, talk about how they think or how they would replicate the effect that is being done. And they watch the scene showing Steve Rogers going from tot Steve Rogers to big man Captain America, and they're like, they did this in 2011? I was like, yeah. I was like, Marvel. I've heard it a bunch of times. Like, when Marvel has their back against the wall, when the MCU needed to make money off of these things, they turned out great product. Once they had no competition, they started going like, yeah, you can have this and this and that. And, yeah. Mm-hmm. But I guess that's getting kind of far from Captain America. Yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. The action is really cool throughout the movie. It's interesting because we watched Brave New World recently, so my brain is kind of like critiquing some of the action because I was like, but it was really cool when Sam Wilson did this thing, and I was like, it was really cool when Sam Wilson just, like, dropped the guy. But no, that's not fair on this movie.
And you gotta think, it's also, he's not even in the modern age yet. Like, he's in the past.
That's all he knows.
That's it. They're still boiling everything, according to him.
There also there were no other superheroes. I assume there are no other superheroes. They don't bring it up. Running with that, there are no other superheroes. It's cool. Like you pointed out, as soon as he got out of the chair because the guy killed the scientist, he starts running. He's like, "What? This man's form. There is no form.
There's none."
Like Steve learns everything just like from having a really good heart and having the guts to go and do the thing that he like believes he has to do. So it's really cool to watch him develop himself as the hero and like create the moniker that is Captain America. Again, from theater kid to the hero, where everyone's like, "That's kind of a dumb suit, man." And he's like, "It's actually growing on me." I'm like, "I like you."
It's kind of big.
Yeah, exactly. You guys aren't seeing the vision.
Come on, like, bro, think of the branding.
I imagine he looked at it and saw the Winter Soldier suit. He's like, "This can go places." It was also Bucky is great in this movie. I love Bucky.
I personally think they should have given him more screen time.
I believe that
they have what's the word I'm looking for? Reconciled that fact. Like they didn't give him enough screen time, but in recent days they're giving him more. Like they gave him his own show. That like he got a little cameo in the recent movie, and now he's a starring role in Thunderbolts.
I think they realized.
I think they realized that they need to listen to the people. They need to listen to the people.
It's we the people. Yeah, I wonder if they recognized after first Avenger how important Buggy is supposed to be to Captain America, because that man's everywhere with Captain America in these movies, and that's really cool. I really like that now that I think about it. Like the only place he is not is, I guess, he's in the fight of Wakanda Infinity War, and he's somewhere on the battlefield, I assume, in Endgame. Yeah, like he's somewhere out there.
He shows up from the Wakanda portal as well. Like Sam comes in saying on your left, and then as T'Challa and the Wakandans come out, there's Bucky as well. Like he doesn't like focus on him, but there is a shot of him standing in front of the portal with his gun, like posed.
My dog.
A literal aura farming.
He knew how to do it. I was talking about as we were watching the movie. The Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie does this as well. I'm sure other movies do it as well, but that's the example that pops out of my brain. Building your hero or your protagonist beside the antagonist, like scene to scene, is probably the greatest way to tell a villain and hero story. Where it's like, oh wow, you're saying like there are parallels. They're paralleled throughout like most of the movie until I think. Not even until I think most of the movie they're like close to all the movie.
They're paralleled until they meet.
And that's like, so cool.
Once they meet is where they fucking.
They're like, oh, I don't fuck with you.
Because the best example I can say when Schmidt and Zola were messing with the Tesseract for the first time, Zola being the scientist and whatnot puts it at 70%, and it's like, all right, it's stable. Let's keep it there. And then the dude, the super soldier, goes bang. And then when Steve Rogers was doing it, same thing happened. Stark is sitting there, he's a scientist and whatnot, hits 70. He's screaming and he's like, oh, we're about to shut it down. And then the dude, the super soldier, he's like, oh, I can go all the way.
That's just good storytelling. And that makes me happy. That makes me really happy. Whenever they first meet, I think they meet 2 times in this movie, which is really crazy to think about. They meet initially and then like the final confrontation. And I think I said Captain America showed up to save the 400 men. He showed up in spite of everything to save everybody as soon as he realized there was danger. And then Red Skull, as soon as he realized that he was in danger, he sacrificed everybody so that he could be safe. And I was like, wow, this is a perfect hero and villain dynamic.
He's willing to sacrifice everybody except for the one most valuable to him.
Yes.
And Steve's sitting there willing to sacrifice himself for everyone and the one most valuable to him. Because he lets Bucky go across first and everything, but Schmidt sits there and goes, not a scratch, doctor. Not a scratch.
You also pointed out whenever at the start, whenever he's running and the the German guy throws a kid into the docks, into the ocean. Great scene, whatever, because I guess just like a knee-jerk reaction, I expected him to be like, "Oh, I have to choose between saving the kid and like going after the villain. I gotta save the kid. Watch for the kid. I can swim." I was like, "You're a G.
You're a unit, bro. You just saved us like so much context in this film."
I enjoyed the evolution of his outfit, his suit throughout this movie, where it is strictly visual at first. And I think it wasn't even a Captain America outfit, but he just like grabs a bunch of military gear and he's like, "Yeah, I can raid this base."
It wasn't even military gear. It was just his coat. It was his coat. The A from the girl.
That's even crazier.
Like he wore the costume, a helmet, a bomber jacket, and that's it. And he brought the tin shield with him. And was like...
And he looked good while doing it.
Darn tootin'.
And it was cool. The shield, I like that he was drawn to the shield, and that, again, speaks leagues for his character, where it's like, he could have had an offensive weapon. No, he's going to defend people. He's going to save people. I've said it to Kevin before. My greatest kink in superhero film, period, is when heroes save people. Because there are so many superhero movies where it's like, oh, the entire thing, you're getting your powers, you get to do your thing to go beat the big bad. It's cool to see you beat the big bad. I love it whenever the hero is like, hey, just like the interactions with the people, and they're like, oh, I think you're kind of cool. You're like, yeah, I am kind of cool, but I'm not going to say anything about it. I'm going to let the people speak. Red Skull's a really good villain. I really enjoyed him, and I feel like even though we had so much time with him, I probably could have spent a little more time with him. He was really driven in what he was doing. I know what happens in the Avengers movie. Mm-hmm. And it's really cool that a villain for the first Avenger, well, someone's like, I want the power of the gods. And then going to the Avengers, you have Loki, who's a god, and he's trying to attain the power of the gods. And I'm like, that's really cool. And the Tesseract... The fact that we don't see the Tesseract until the very end of the movie.
We see it for maybe 3 minutes. Mm-hmm. Maybe.
He finds it in the beginning of the movie, opens the box, we see it.
Blue light, that's it.
I really like the shot. Like, it's from behind him. He opens it and he's like, oh.
There's all the dust from the rubble he created. It just shine. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, then he closes it. He's like, oh, kill everybody. I was like, oh, well.
Get them all. Oh, you were saying? Back.
It's like the Donald Glover, like, This is America thing. Like, he takes the... There you go.
This is America. This is Nazi Germany.
Oh, there's so many parallels. You see the point in the movie where Captain America breaks from, oh, I'm the theater kid, that I'm just doing the bail bonds things. He can save lives, so he goes to save lives. And then you see the break of Red Skull, where he's a part of Nazi Germany, but he's like, no, I represent Hydra. Like and it's just such a well-written movie.
It's such a cold line. He's like, I'm sorry, Doctor. Hydra could only grow so much under the Fuhrer. I'm like, oh my god! Like, this is the superpower of the world you're talking about, and he's piss ants to you.
And you brought up Zola crafts weapons out of the energy from the Tesseract, and my initial reaction is, oh, all these people are dying. Like, they're being, like, atomized. But you actually think that they're being transported to other places.
It would make sense. Because think about it. Like, the only one... Like I was also saying, maybe they're not being fully transported. Maybe it's just their souls, which is what creates the soul stone and whatnot. But for Red Skull, you can see it. You can see him being transported to the planet.
The place with the water and the
the cliff.
I can't kill
in the tower.
The cliff. Ah, the cliff. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like you can see when he finally like actually touches the Tesseract, his entire body and everything gets shot through space. What's to say that didn't happen to the rest of those guys?
As we were watching the movie, I was like, okay, I guess that's a fair assessment. But it's like once he grabbed it, it was like. I was like, oh.
And I was also thinking about, I didn't say it while we were watching it, but in Loki, the TVA has the void sticks, the void batons.
Oh yeah, and it doesn't kill them.
Maybe that's what happened to them. Maybe instead of being fully transported, because it wasn't the direct power of the Tesseract like it was for Red Skull, they were just being sent to the void.
That's a hard knock life.
It's terrible. It's terrible. Like you're not only being disintegrated, you're being sent to the void to then be eaten by a Goliath.
I guess we haven't touched on Peggy Carter. I really enjoyed Peggy Carter in this movie.
What a model fucking woman. What a model woman.
It's a really strong open
it's a strong woman in a man's world. Like, that's how it was at the time.
I just got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
What's that from? The Woman in a Man's World. I think it's done very exceptionally well, especially as a period piece. I think it's hilarious because whenever I think of period piece, I think of things like Pride and Prejudice and stuff like that. Captain America's a period piece. Captain America's a period piece. That's I'm gonna pull it up on my wife next time. Anytime it comes up, she'll be like, I want to watch a period piece. I'll be like, okay. She's a really fun character throughout the movie. Like, the first time we see her is, like, with the lineup of guys, and the guys...
And the jock of the group, he's like, oh, I thought I was signing up for the U.S. Army. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, I can show you a few wrestling moves you'll enjoy. And then he gets socked.
I appreciate that he steps up. She's like, put your right foot forward, does it, just to set up for a clean hit. And I was like, that's incredible.
Literally, just to make sure to put him on his ass.
But yeah, and then after that, if they could get the flag down, also, really cool moment for Captain America.
Dude, I've always said this. It's showing off that just because he has all this strength all of a sudden and whatnot, that's not what makes him a good soldier. It's his brain. Mm-hmm. It's how smart he is. Because everybody else is sitting there, oh, let me climb the pole, let me climb the pole, let me climb the pole. Clap, toss,
free ride.
Here you are, sir, ma'am.
He's always mirrored, I think, Spider-Man. Like Peter Parker. Peter Parker is there are so many comics where, at some point in time, Peter comes across Captain America and he was like, "I just want to be cool. I just want to be like good like you." And Cap's like, "Son, you're doing your best. Like you're doing as much as you can, and that's all you."
That's one of my favorite comics that I've seen in recent days. Is the one where Peter is sitting there and he's like, "Why does everyone hate me? And maybe I should scream it from the rooftops. I'm here to help!" And then just all of a sudden, behind him, he just hears, "Well, that's a good notion, son." And he just turns around and it's
Grandpa,
Captain America.
Uncle America?
They get attacked by AIM, and they take down AIM and MODOK. And the Bugle writes a piece saying, "Spider-Man, agent of AIM?" And Captain America sees it. He's in his PT clothes. He goes, "Oh?" Gets suits up in full uniform, strolls into the Daily Bugle, slaps it down on his desk, and goes, "I was there. I was with Spider-Man. We took down AIM and MODOK together. You want to know a menace? You want to know a tyrant? I know a tyrant when I see one." Because it wasn't the full stash that J.K. Simmons gives him. It was just the chaplain.
That's what he wears.
It was just the chaplain. And so he was like, "I know what a real menace looks like." And then the next page is Spider-Man reading the renewed version, being like, "Spider-Man and Captain America defeat AIM and MODOK." And he's sitting outside in a web hammock outside of Jameson's window. Jameson turns around and you just see him clean.
Yep. Just a great character. The character of Steve Rogers, the character of Captain America, and it's always fun with, especially DC characters, to go like, oh, who's the mask, who's the actual character, and like, is Batman the real character or is Bruce Wayne the mask? Stuff like that. And it's really nice that with Captain America, you don't have to argue, like, he is Captain America. That's who he is. And like, once he puts on the suit, that's Steve Rogers. Takes on the suit, that's Captain America. Like, it's who he is in here. And that's what the scientist point, like, as scientist dying, he like points at the heart. I'm like, oh. I was like, like you would have Ben Kenobi. That was his Ben Kenobi.
Now we've said nothing but positives.
Ooh.
What is something that you did not enjoy And it could be small. Like me personally, one thing that I did not enjoy about how they cast and portrayed the character, he's not blonde. He's a dirty blonde. He's a dirty blonde, like brunette, damn near, because of Chris Evans. And I'm like, that's not who Captain America was. He was supposed to be, like, for all intents and purposes, he was Hitler's perfect kid.
He was an Aryan.
And then that's what beat his ass.
Went to fight for the Americas.
Like,
Imagine that.
Like I always saw some like poetic irony in that. Like this Aryan Brooklyn kid just defeated the Nazis. I also hate how little they played on the fact that they were Nazis. Like I get it. Like it's fucked time in history, but at the same time, like Hydra was a faction of the Nazis.
That's interesting.
Play into that a little bit more. Like
would they not want to like recruit him or something, or would they try to sweet talk him before going straight to hands? Because he's like their perfect image. That's what he would have wanted.
Like there's literally comics. The U.S. agent wasn't always John Walker. The U.S. agent started off as, I call him Captain Hydra. I can't remember what he's actually called.
Captain Hydra's fine.
But it's literally just Steve Rogers. He was Winter Soldier brainwashed. And he didn't know it. He was just like, yeah, I'm Captain America. I've heard these specific phrase of words. Hail Hydra.
And now I'm here.
And I think they should have played into that a little bit more. Like they gave us teasers in Endgame. Like not really teasers, but like little Easter eggs. Like when it was the callback to the elevator scene, and he was like,
"Hail Hydra."
I was like, "Come on, don't tease me like that."
Something I didn't like. I'm really bad at this because I guess I'm ashamed to say it. My coworker watched a movie called Zombievers about zombie beavers, and she was like, "This is a horrible movie," and I'm like, I think I want to watch it though. And don't get me wrong, horrible movie, but
it's probably fantastic.
I was darn intrigued the entire movie. But yes. So we see Howard Stark, we see Captain America. I guess if I had to nitpick something, I would have liked to see. I assume SHIELD should have been around. And we don't see any S.H.I.E.L.D.
Not at that point.
Really?
Not at that point, because you got to remember Peggy, Howard, I can't remember who else, but individuals like Hank Pym, like they were founding members of S.H.I.E.L.D. And S.H.I.E.L.D. was founded after one such super individual happened. Because, you got to think about it, the Nazis had Hydra. Hydra started becoming this superpower in of itself. And they were like, you know what? Let's do the same kind of deal. Like, we just defeated them. We can do it better.
Our own government sect.
But then Winter Soldier and all that, they were infiltrated.
They fumbled.
They couldn't do it as well. If you got to give stats where stats are due, Hydra did it. Hydra did it the best. Because not only did they create their own organization, they then took over another organization and wasn't even revealed until, like, extremes happened.
Yeah. I don't know what to say bad about this movie. I really enjoyed this movie.
You're too positive of a person.
Yeah, I'm way too. It's a crutch. I like his suit. I like the shield. I'm curious why he goes for the circle one. Like, what was it about that shield that was drawn to him? Or he was drawn to it. Did the vibranium come from Wakanda, and it's just something they don't bring about? He just didn't bring up?
They didn't talk about it, but yes. Because you have to remember, in the post-credit scene for Age of Ultron, Bruce is looking at a computer, and he's like, it came from somewhere called Wakanda? And then Tony and Steve look at each other. They're like, oh, shit.
He's coming for us.
So it definitely did. It came from T'Chaka. I shit you not, T'Challa's father. That vibranium shield was a gift to America from Wakanda given by King T'Chaka.
And I think that's really cool. It was given as a shield, not a weapon. A shield.
It's a shield. It's a vibranium shield. Which, like you were saying, it speaks to the character of Steve Rogers. He's a protector, not a fighter. And he said as such when Dr. Erkstead?
Oh, no, I'm not. I can't know what the name is.
Dr. German Man.
German Man, yep.
Dr. Super Serum. when Dr. Super Serum was talking to him the first time, and he was like, "You still haven't answered my question. Do you want to kill Nazis?"
Oh, yeah.
And Steve was like, "I don't want to kill anyone. I just don't like bullies. I don't care where they're from." Laid out right there, his entire character.
I think this is both the One Piece in me and later MCU films, because the characters, a lot of people die in this movie, and they, like, later in the MCU movies, characters take some hits and you're like, oh yeah, they died, and then they don't die. I was like, okay. But characters died really quickly in this movie. Like, bam! Like, oh. I was like, oh, okay.
A lot of them. It was great.
And I guess narratively, Doctor had to go, but his Ben Kenobi, his Jiren Doctor, he needed to die narratively. But I guess in a perfect world, it would have been really nice to see later on, like, Steve's interactions with this guy, because I can definitely see, like, Steve going out to eat with this guy, or like spending, like, he would have spent a lot of time with this man.
It would have been a father figure.
He would have been a father figure. I'm interested why we didn't see anything about Steve's parents. Like, even like a passing mention. Like, we don't know anything about his. And I guess sure you can just say, oh, nothing. They're just, he's just a guy. His parents are just people.
You gotta look at him like he's not Steve Rogers. Like, he's not Captain
just
America.
Just a dude.
He's literally. He says it best himself. He's literally just a guy from Brooklyn. What?
Which is
what
still
the
powerful.
fuck? His father's probably a steel worker. His mother's probably, or like his fucking. He said his father was a part of the army, and his mother was a nurse, and they probably got out and started doing their own thing, or they passed in the war.
I don't take Steve Rogers as a liar. Like, he is not a person that would do that. But he was so passionate about wanting to get into the army that he falsified information that would have gotten him into a lot of trouble. But he just wanted so badly to be a part of, not to be a part of it, to help people, to protect people.
He didn't care. He did not care about the consequences. Like, he probably would have sat there in front of a judge if he had gotten caught and been like, "Sir."
It was me.
Yeah, it would have been a private DOS, like Hacksaw Ridge type shit. He would have just been like, "Sir, they're laying down their lives. Why the fuck can't I?"
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think I am too positive. I don't believe that, because I've watched all the way through Thor and Thor: Dark World one time, and I was angry about it. So
which one?
Both of them. I think both of them. I would definitely have to rewatch them.
I think personally, Thor it's a decent movie. It's a good introduction. It gives us a lot of context, gives us some world building for like Thor, because literally we haven't seen anything else. We had Iron Man, Captain America, and then fucking Thor. It was literally just fucking Thor. And so
it's a lot to pitch.
Which, granted, technically the MCU started in 2008
with the Incredible Hulk. I have not watched that movie.
What? You've never seen Edward Norton's The Incredible Hulk?
No.
Dude, I can't even cap. Like, it's a good movie. It is so good.
We'll watch it someday then. If we continue to do this, then we'll watch it eventually.
Hell yeah! Let's get through all the Captain Americas, and then we'll go to Hulk next. We'll do all the original six
Avengers
that have actual movies. Sorry, Black Widow and Hawkeye.
Black Widow gets a movie, man.
Hey, the
10 years later
was movies.
I'm trying to think of a bad thing, because if I don't have a bad thing, then why am I not giving it a high score? Like, Bucky was taken away well.
Well, it doesn't even have to be all that bad. Like mine's not even all that terrible. Like, oh no, his hair color isn't exact. Fuck! It doesn't matter.
I definitely think some of the CGI can be great to alright, but unfortunately, a bunch of modern MCU movies go from all right to really, really noticeable. So I will not fault this movie for its CGI. This movie has very consistent CGI, and it does not look out of place darn near anywhere in this movie.
At all. One thing with CGI that this movie does well is that it's consistent. It's not like, oh, it's super realistic over here, but then it's kind of shit over here.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's baseline. This is how our CGI looks. Like the plane, the fucking car when they're having like when they're moving to catch the plane.
I think all the backgrounds, the train,
the backgrounds, like everything like that. It was a consistent level of CGI, which just like you can tell. Of course, you're like, oh, that's computer generated. But at the same time, like you allow yourself to turn your brain off enough to go, I'm watching a movie.
Yeah, it's a part of the spectacle.
But this is it's like if you're watching an anime. Like if the art style and everything is consistent throughout, it's consistent. It's good. It's fluent, and that's what they did. Like with everything that was computer generated, it was nothing but consistent. It didn't take away. It didn't like pull your attention from it. Because if something CGI showed up, like when he's fighting, when he's in those big fight scenes and there are those giant tanks and whatnot, like you can tell that's CGI. But at the same time, you're like, that's consistent with everything else in this film. It's consistent with the time, and by golly, that man just threw a grenade in that tank.
You could tell that it was like, oh yeah, CGI. It also felt kind of like mythic. Kind of like, oh, this is a story someone could tell, and if I was telling a story, I'd be like, oh, and then it blew up. Then they grabbed the grenade, then he threw it in the tank, then he jumped off in slow motion. All that pans.
Like they literally brought out what the comic books describe. Like that's all it was. It was a consistent product of bringing a comic book to life, which I think personally is what happened. Like, which is why Marvel, the MCU, had such a downfall these past few years. Is because they weren't sticking to like bring the comic to life, bring that story from the comic into the real world.
Just making their own stuff up.
Literally type shit. Look, I love your story. I love where you're trying to take it. The Russo brothers. Yeah, the Russo brothers said this themselves. They were like, "Look, we've given y'all terrible products. Like these are subpar, terrible products. So." 2024, we're going to start trying anew. We're giving you one film towards the end of the year. And that's Deadpool and Wolverine.
Which was great.
Fantastic movie. The next movie to come out, Captain America, Brave New World.
I think also great.
Fantastic movie. And now we're getting our first official... The next movie is... Thunderbolts. I always forget about Thunderbolts. They're just
they're there. They're the middle child.
They're the sideline. They're the side characters in the fact that in July we get our first MCU look at the Fantastic Four.
That's gonna be very. I am very excited.
Excited doesn't even describe. I watched the second iteration of Fantastic Four.
I also have not seen that movie.
Dude, oh, you're lucky. You're blessed. You're blessed. I love all of those actors. They all do great jobs in every other film that they do. Like, I mean, Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
And first of all, two MCU characters that are beloved started off as Johnny Storm. They started off as a terrible Johnny Storm. Now, granted, Chris Evans' Johnny... a lot better than Michael B's. Oh my God, don't get me started on that movie. You want to know the worst part about that movie?
What's the worst part?
I always forget that Michael B. Jordan is Johnny Storm. And I think that Miles Teller, Mr. Fantastic, is Johnny Storm.
That's weird. Yeah.
And oh my God, the way they did the thing. What? Brother, that was like the fallen angels from fucking Noah. If you've ever seen that movie.
No. I'll get you and Adam in the same room soon. Maybe not soon, but eventually. Before that Fantastic Four movie comes out, because he loves Fantastic Four.
Dude, it's going to be fantastic.
Say
that again.
Say it again. Say it one more time. What's that movie going to be?
Fantastic.
Capital 4. I guess I don't have too much more to say about the first Avenger. I guess one more scene that I did want to talk about. I guess two more things, one more scene to talk about. I really like right before Bucky does fly out of the crazy scene. Right before Bucky does fly out of the train. I think first how he picks up the shield. I was like, he has a shield, and then he blocks the blast, and he immediately gets clapped because of it. And I was like, I forgot Cap is built different, but it's really nice whenever Captain America gets into the room. He doesn't rush in and take out the guy. He's like, you're your own man, and he tossed him the gun. He's like, I'll help you, but like you got this. And I was like, they are bros. Like that's his homie, brother from another mother.
And then loses him.
Yeah, immediately after, I was like, "Oh God!"
And I don't know if they intended it, but the last hand that he had on the train
is that the one
was the one that he lost, because you can see like as he falls, he lets go of the metal railing with his left hand. His right hand's already out here. He goes, ha!
Oh.
And so my personal theory is that the way he survived is he probably lost his arm due to like pushing off of the cliffside. Because if you look at it,
yeah, he was falling.
He's headed straight for land. So I think he was falling and fucking
to hopefully land in water or not on jagged rock.
Exactly. And in doing so, he kind of like pushed himself, turned, and then his left arm took the brunt of the force, which is why he survived.
So they were experimenting on him. Is that, I assume that's where they like programmed stuff into him, or is he rescued and then they programmed stuff into him?
Yes and no. They were what we see when Steve Rogers grabs him the first time is they were experimenting with it, which is why he was in such a daze, because they were doing the electroshock therapy and things like that to like try and break him, which is why a lot of people when he was releasing all the prisoners, he was like, have you seen James Buchanan Barnes of blah blah blah, and they were like, oh, he went to this place and usually people don't come back. He was one of the few that could survive that treatment. But it was brand new, so a lot of people were dying from that. So he probably did have a little bit of programming put into him, but not
the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, not to the point that he had like sleeper agent type stuff going on. Like it was more or less like if he got shocked well enough, he probably would have like folded right there.
He was on the brink.
And so, but once they recovered him, it was an easy task.
Yep.
He was already a bit of a broken man. All they had to do was find the crack and hit it. And that's it. That's all they had to do.
Good old-fashioned Russian.
It also works the same way in reverse, which we see in the Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
Because as soon as he sees Steve again, and Steve's like, Bucky! He's like, who the hell is that? I gotta go! I love the fact that Bucky has such a strong personality that they have to repeatedly wipe his memory.
That's crazy.
That's the only reason that he has been the Winter Soldier for so long. Is A, they cryogenically sleep him, and B, they consistently wipe his memory after a lot of his missions. Now, granted, it's still there. It's not fully wiped.
Mm-hmm.
But Bucky Barnes is such a prominent factor of that human being that they have to every time, or else he starts breaking. Like he is the definition of Captain America's best friend. He's the same type of person as Cap.
I think you pointed out that he could have also been a candidate for Captain America,
mm-hmm.
and
it's just, he had already joined. It was literally, it was just wrong place, wrong time. He joined too early. If he had joined when Steve did, when Dr. Super Serum was there,
Dr. Super Serum, yep,
it would have been over.
Young man.
Like James Buchanan Barnes would have been Captain America. Now, I believe that Nazi bitch was horseshit. There's no way they saw this dude and went, yeah, he's alright.
He's one of us.
Like, what?
He said,
Like this
red,
man,
white, and blue, am I right?
Like this man had to have been in the country for years. Because he was like the senator's right-hand man.
He also looked crooked. Like, I looked at everyone in that room, I was like, wait a second.
Bro, he looked like a fucking Superman wannabe. Like, Jesus Christ.
Rip off your shirt already.
Keep the glasses off, you bitch.
I'll let you have any last comments if you would like, but I think I'm really interested in picking a scene out of this movie. Both of us, we can do it together, and just talk about that scene. And you already mentioned the scene you would like to. I don't actually want to say it, because if someone comes back and they're like, oh, what's the scene? But I am interested in talking about a scene that stood out for me in this movie and a scene that stood out for you in this movie.
I think personally we should do that for everyone.
Yes!
Tell
that's fine.
the other two to watch it, and then everybody picks their scenes. If we have the same ones, we have the same ones.
That's hilarious. That'd be great. I think we should. That's a really good idea. Do you have any last thoughts before your closing thoughts? And then do you have closing thoughts? Like anything we didn't really hit? Because there's a fair amount that we didn't get to talk about. Like the Howling Commandos, we didn't really touch on those guys. There's always going to be something we don't cover, but...
I think the only thing I really need to add is, like, we've been talking about the CGI. I think one of the best scenes that displayed how great the CGI was for its time was when he's fighting that pilot. Mm-hmm. Like, they're flying through the air and whatnot.
Yeah, they're flipping and twirling him.
They're trying to flip him off. Dude gets run through the propeller. Like, it's nuts, and it looks really good. So good.
I didn't expect him to be obliterated by the propeller. I was like,
whoa! It's a Marvel movie. It's a Marvel movie. Like, these days, they've definitely dumbed him down. Oh my God, we can't even show blood.
Captain America killed so many people in this movie.
Brother, we saw so much death in this movie, and it's beloved. It is a beloved film.
They have babied it down a little bit. Not a little bit, a lot of it.
A lot of it.
Will, do you have any closing comments about Captain America, the First Avenger?
All I can really say in summary is I loved how it progressed. I love seeing both characters' stories develop side by side, the parallels, the split off. And I think for its time, CGI, storytelling, and everything, it was ahead of its time. It was a fantastic film. The CGI was above average. Because, I mean, this is, 3 years after The Incredible Hulk?
Yep.
And I'm not going to lie, The Incredible Hulk had fantastic CGI as well. But then you look at 8 years prior to this movie, to the only other Marvel movie that had came out, which was 2003's Incredible Hulk. That one had, not gonna lie, terrible CGI. But again, they also had very consistent CGI.
Yep.
So it was terrible CGI. You could tell it was CGI, but with it being so consistent through the film, there was no break. There was no immersion breaking. Like, you were still immersed in the universe.
That's it. We watched Marvel Studios' Captain America, the First Avenger. The next movie we will watch will be Winter Soldier. I'm very excited about Winter Soldier.
So am I. It's my favorite Captain America film.
I watched Winter Soldier after I watched Captain America, but I also watched that really late. We were getting to Endgame by the time I watched Winter Soldier, because I was like, what movies haven't I watched in the main lineup?
I'm the same way. I'm the exact same way, because I started with the Avengers, and then I tried to keep up with it consistently, but I fell off of it for a few years, mainly middle school. And then once I got into marching band, I got kind of close with Kevin, and me and him we just talk shop Marvel. And so when Endgame and Infinity War and things like that were happening, me and him we just saunter on into the band room, and we'd just be like, have you seen the most recent trailer?
I'm very thankful for your time, Will. And I'm glad that I get to do this with you. And I'm happy for people will be seeing your face soon.
Hopefully.
Relatively. I enjoyed watching this with you, and I enjoyed talking about it with you. And I look forward to Winter Soldier.